accomplish that. I know you're all
As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, as a symbol, I can be incorruptible.
He gave us a signal.
Where are you?
Something elemental, something terrifying.
Welcome back. It is episode 14 of Cavecast. I'm Sammy Threepeat, and with me, as always, is Drunken Emerald Arrow. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. It is the weekend. I'm ready to relax and talk about MR.FREEZE.
Yes, MR.FREEZE.
This one definitely a character that has evolved from his original to what they turned him into, which we'll get into. That I think they made him a much better character with the evolution of the character.
Maybe one of the best retcons in comic book history, like maybe besides like in Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, where they make Swamp Thing a plant that thinks he's human, making Wolverine a mutant, and this and the installation of his wife. We'll get into it, but yes, indeed, the subject is MR.FREEZE. And we have "This is how I'll always remember you, surrounded by winter, forever young, forever beautiful. Rest well, my love. The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold." And we are going to be quoting shit like that all fucking stream because he's so dope. But we can get right into it. And I'm sure Iron will be here.
Yes, he will be. Yeah, he will be here in a little bit. He had a hard night. He had a hard night of working on his saving the city, so he hasn't had much rest time. So he will,
because he's the Batman of all countries, El Gaucho.
Just to Vegas. I mean, he flies from. Yeah, he is flying from building to building, from the Bellagio to Circus.
Not sure if my glasses are just blurry or if my eyes are just bloodshot from last night. We were doing a little drinking at the show last night, and nope, it's the glasses. Thank God. Thought I did some permanent damage. Yeah, so let's wait. We'll have to. Dude, Kick is nothing but nothing but bots.
I love the first one from this. From Feminist Stampede.
I was that's what made me laugh.
Tired of streaming to zero. Let's change that go to this website and we will only and we'll help you and steal your data.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if I should be advertising for feminists. I don't think I'm that type of show. But let's see the real people in the chat. Friend of the channel, Jacob Ironside. Good to see you. Sooner or later, all who stand in my way must feel the icy touch of death. Yes, keep those quotes coming. Keep them coming. Sergeant, good to see you. Hey, crew. I'm definitely familiar with this arc of MR.FREEZE from the animated series and Arkham Origins. I mean, we'll talk about those, but we're not going over a particular arc. This is just like a character analysis. But I mean, both great arcs. I was actually pleasantly surprised how well they handled MR.FREEZE in the Arkham Asylum games. Morning, Sammy Threepeat. Hope you and the missus are well. We are well. We are
Family's just hungover.
Yeah, just a little slow. But you know, Sergeant Yan. Oh, Rick, good to see you. Feminist Stampede. Good to have you in here. You're a totally real person. Drunken. Good. Let's see. Orminer Wurst. Sounds like some German sausage I can't pronounce. Hey, I'm not trying to promote anything, but yeah, go to this website.
Odd Jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, Iron's here.
Hey, good morning.
This robot here was just telling me how I can get big follows. Blue collar loser, still awake, Sammy. Been doing Uber since Leon went live, and I can't sleep. Yeah, I was gonna jump on that late last night, and then I woke up with the link because he invites people on at like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm a human being. Also, we got done like playing a killer set list. Didn't oh, there we go. Killer Games Cast. Got hands and ears are burning. Oh yeah, we got a little something for the El Gaucho fans today.
Oh yeah.
And Steven Ransom. You're the only one who cares. Batman Freeze, Batman Beyond. And then yeah, that'll do it, guys. Oh, what am I thinking? Gotta put our little banner up, our little bandanner. And yeah, so this is a character. Mr. Freeze started out as Mr. Zero, if I'm not mistaken, but he's when did he? Oh, so 1959. So I mean, he's an older character, but he's not like OG.
But he appeared as Mr. Freeze for the first time on TV in Instant Freeze, February 1966.
Wow. So you know, I guess he's I guess anything that predates the 66 show can be regarded as OG.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was very gimmicky. There wasn't a lot to him. It's not until really 30 years after his creation when Paul Dini and Bruce Timm completely changed the character and made him not only you know, one of the best villains that we got, but probably one of the most sympathetic and
complex.
Yeah, complex. You know, something. One of the reasons we jumped at analyzing this character is because he is so complex. He's going to be super fun to talk about. I got to join you for one of these Heart of Ice, maybe. You blue collar, you're always welcome. Despite the burning, he still fears Mr. Freeze. Oh, and also thank you, Stephen, for watching on Twitter. Remember the 1966 TV version, and this anime version revived the character and many others. All right. Well, without further ado, so he's created by Dave Wood and Sheldon Moldoff and Bob Kane, but at any time it says and Bob Kane, put an asterisk because Bob liked to steal things. Or I don't even know, like, steal it because like his name was just on it. You just take credit. Where he was like, you know, like, hey, we came up with this character. Oh, I did too. And you're like, no, you didn't.
Oh, well, let's like right here. It says Bob Kane was an American cartoonist and one of the creators of Batman and known creation stealer of the 1960s. No, that's not.
But I mean, it was like the worst kept secret in comics that, like, if you had anything remotely good and you were writing for Batman, Bob was going to take credit for it. So.
Yeah. Well, it's in my universe that I created. which is Batman. So therefore, anything that's created automatically gets my name on it.
Meanwhile, Bill Finger like dies in squalor. I know. It's good. It's good to see that Bill Finger is now finally getting the credit he sorely deserved. Yeah. So let's just start from the beginning. We'll share the old screen-a-rooney here. And yeah, like I said, Dave Wood, Sheldon Moldoff, Bob Kane. The character first appearance was in Batman 121 in February 1959 as Mr. Zero, a criminal scientist whose experimental ice gun backfires and spills cryogenic chemicals on him, forcing him to wear a Sub-Zero suit for survival and transforming him into a gimmicky stock villain. Wow, even the Wikipedia is throwing shade at Mr. Zero, who commits ice-themed crimes. And I'm pretty sure the puns were there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Not. I mean, I think Arnie took it to the next level, but I'm pretty sure the puns were always there. The name MR.FREEZE was first used when the character was adapted for the 1960s Batman television series, in which he played by 3 different actors: George Sandoz, Otto Preminger, and Eli Wallach. Or Wallach. Yeah, I got it the first time. Don't second guess yourself. Go with your guts, guys. Go with your guts.
The channel second guessing.
Believe.
Believe. That's what El Gaucho would do. Mr. Freeze debuted in the episodes Instant Freeze on February 2nd, 1966, and his comic book counterpart was renamed in Detective Comics 373 in March 1968. So he was Mr. Zero for quite some time in the comics. Nearly 30 years later, lead producers Paul Dini and Bruce Timm completely overhauled the character in Batman the Animated Series. The GOAT artist Mike Magnolia redesigned Mr. Freeze for the series at Timm's request, while Michael Ansara provided the character's voice. The episode Heart of Ice, which is written by Dini and directed by Timm, aired on September 7th, 1992, and retold Mr. Freeze's origins as Victor Freeze, a scientist who turns to crime to find a cure for his cryogenically frozen, terminally ill wife, Nora. This revamped the depiction of Freeze, and it was critically acclaimed. It led to his characterization and backstory being retconned into the mainstream comic book continuity, and the world is better for it. Oh, Toast.
Do you remember where you were on September 7th, 1992?
I'm probably watching this.
Yeah, I was
honest. I mean,
School, then watching that.
Yep.
I was like, I lived and died by this show when I was a kid.
I loved it because the show was on right after school.
Yep. You know, like my grandma would pick me up, you know, and I would go there. I was waiting for my parents to get off of work, but it was like Batman, and then you know, a couple other choice cartoons, and then I'd go home. But this is first depiction here. I mean, that suit it almost looks like Thal Sinestro from the design.
Ice crimes.
Yeah, there's nothing really icy about it. And it was like you got my neon pink and all the highlighter. They ran out of colors that day. They was like, oh fuck, we got to color this. We only have highlighters. And
nothing says cold like bright yellow.
Yeah. Mr. Zero.
You'll never find me, even though I stand out.
So let's see. Okay, the pre-crisis version. To create an ice gun, a scientist whose name remains unknown starts experimenting with a concentrated freezing solution. He suffers an unfortunate accident that changes his physiology, forcing him to live in environments below zero temperature. He adopts the criminal identity Mr. Zero to be able to go out into the normal environment. Zero creates an air-conditioned costume. I think it's a little bit more than air-conditioned. Selena, thank you. But yeah, air-conditioned seems putting it lightly. Which helps him remain in cold temperature even in hot climates. Using this equipment, Zero gathers a small gang and starts a crime spree in Gotham City, stealing mainly diamonds and other precious jewels, as one does. Mr. Zero is eventually confronted by local vigilantes, Batman and Robin. Unable to stand against his cold weapons, the dynamic duo fails to stop Zero. They are captured by him and brought to his secret cold hideout near the mountains, the mountains of Gotham City.
The hills. The hills.
Keep in mind, Gotham is supposed to be just outside of New Jersey. Not a lot of mountains. Or are there? I'm guessing no. I think you got to go a little
Appalachian, the Appalachian range.
Yeah, but that's a little farther in, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more southern than.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little farther west. But whatever. Gotham's got mountains. Deal with it. Trapped in blocks of ice, Batman and Robin learn Zero's plan to steal a large collection of gems. Batman eventually breaks a nearby steam pipe, causing the steam to fill the hideout, melting the ice away, and apparently curing Zero of his ailment. After this, Batman and Robin are able to capture the whole gang and bring Zero to the authorities. So that feels very Silver Age. Does not a lot of fat on it, just a lot of kookiness. And who knew it? All it took was just a little bit of steam to cure his ailment.
Oh boy.
After years of inactivity, Zero's condition apparently returns. Going back to his life of crime, he changes his alias to Mr. Freeze and is forced to remain in cold temperatures once again. In his second exploit, Freeze redesigns his cryo suit to improve his cryothermal gun. With his new gang, he starts with a series of crimes and steals valuable pieces of art. Similar to his first criminal activities, Freeze eventually is stopped by Batman and Robin. Long after this, Freeze becomes part of a mock criminal trial. I don't even know. I don't even know what that means, to be honest.
Well, click on it. Oh no, it's probably mock criminal trial. Probably is the actual definition. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's used to it's like a train. It's like training.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, even that, like, I understood what a mock criminal trial is. It's just like this lone sentence here. So was that an issue? Just the mock criminal trial with Mr. Freeze was just, I don't know. I have questions. We'll figure it out eventually. Mr. Freeze later changes his cryo suit with one that actually allows him more mobility. Freeze falls in love with a woman named Hildy. To slow her aging process, Freeze sets out to recreate the accident that transformed him. For his experiments, he uses wealthy people in Gotham as test subjects, but all the efforts result in failure. The victims turn into frozen zombies who follow Freeze's commands. His new crimes alert the police and Batman. In the ensuing fight, Batman is only able to win when Hildy shows up, and her true intentions are known, and she betrays Freeze. So he's encased in solid ice when her plan backfires. So these are all pre-crisis, and there's a reason that I'm reading them is because I just want to show how kind of lame this character is until we get to the animated series. So Freeze's next plan consists of freezing Gotham City by removing all the heat and transporting the energy to neighboring city of Metropolis. Metropolis is not a neighboring city, but we can, maybe this is the version that Zack Snyder read.
Yeah.
Okay. They're not like down the street from one another. It doesn't make fucking sense. Otherwise,
wait. So Gotham City is not, so Metropolis is not a suburb of Gotham City?
Yeah, exactly. It's not just divided by a river. Otherwise, it kind of like makes the whole point of like Superman moot. It was like, oh, is he like a vampire? He can't cross like flowing water. Well, why is Metropolis so nice and Gotham so shitty? It doesn't correlate.
He's just a snob. He's like, I'm not going to Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham.
They got their own superhero to deal with it. I got my own city, and it's nice.
Yeah. Look at Batman. Look at all the nice shit we got over here. Must be cool. Yeah.
You can't go over water.
Oh no. Yeah, it was like all the criminals in Metropolis. It was like, dude, we just got to go like 3 streets over. Then we're in Gotham. No one's ever gonna find. It was like it doesn't make fucking sense. But either way, neighboring city of Metropolis, Freeze is unable to accomplish his goal and is stopped by Batman and Superman. So that's why they needed to team up. Probably world's finest. During one last attempt to freeze Gotham entirely, because that's his Mr. Freeze creates a large
thing he just
ice
really
cannon.
wants to do.
Yeah. When I was a boy, I was on the seesaw and I was like, wouldn't this just look nicer if it was all ice? And they laughed at me. They laughed. During his last attempt to freeze Gotham entirely in ice, Freeze creates a large ice cannon, as one does. After robbing a bank, Freeze is confronted by Batman and the new Robin. I'm guessing that new Robin is Jason Todd.
Dead puppies. Dead puppies. Dead puppies aren't much fun.
Gone and often forgotten. Jason Todd Robin. Yeah, so the new Robin who manages to defeat him with the help of Vicky Vale and Julia Pennyworth. And I believe Julia she's didn't we talk about her the other day?
I think so. I think we briefly touched on her.
That's not the one where they made Alfred a deadbeat dad. Julia Pennyworth is someone else. Hold on, we have to go through this dumb list. I know this is why they pay us the big bucks.
You need scrolling music.
Yeah, no. All I do is it's the NFL theme. Okay, I'm not even seeing Julia Pennyworth on this list of shit characters. Oh, there's Julia Pennyworth. Daughter of Alfred and French resistance fights Mille Marie.
In the new 52.
Yeah, okay. So okay, yeah, that's right. So she showed up as Julia Remarque in April 1981, because I know how French people speak. I'm hip.
Baguette.
All right. This is this version of Freeze right here. I believe the first time that they had him drawn like that was in Batman Arkham Files, and they were solely on like different characters. Like they had one about Bane. That's where they established like what his life was like growing up in the prison. He had the teddy bear with the knife in it, and like this, they kind of showed Mr. Freeze, his dad was often abusive, and like the only person who was ever fucking nice to him was this girl Nora, who he eventually goes out to marry. If you guys can find that issue, read it. I remember like being choked up, like even as a child, going like, "Oh my god, this is some hard hitting shit right here." And also, I think this suit looks super badass.
Oh yeah.
You know, he looks quite formidable in this, and you know that is something that they retcon, where his suit does, you know, change his strength. So let's get into the good stuff. But let's see if anyone else. Jen, good to see you. Wife, how are you? Warband 55. Oh, I know, brother. I know. I'm right there with you. Hey, well, you know what? You enjoy that. You enjoy that. Nothing wrong with a little
Friend of the family. I mean, friend of the channel. Day drinking.
Yeah, friend of the channel.
Day drinking.
Warband 55.
It's the best way to prevent a hangover.
Never have one to begin with.
Or cure one.
Yeah.
Enemy of the channel, liver. It's evil and it must be destroyed. The following, okay, this might get interesting here. Let's see what they do with Mr. Freeze post-crisis. So, following the 1985 Crisis of Infinite Earth storyline that rebooted DC Comics continuity, Mr. Freeze's origin is retroactively revamped to match the one conceived. Oh, okay. So I guess the series isn't that far behind. No, I mean that's like 8 years. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, but I don't think they were doing anything with Mr. Freeze actively. You know, that's probably one of the reasons that they put him on the show so quickly is, you know, it was one of those throwaway characters you can do nothing with. And then Paul Dini's like, hey, I got this really good idea, and everyone changed everybody's lives. But let's see. Victor Freeze is a brilliant expert in cryogenics in Gotham City. As a child, he's fascinated, with the cryonic preservation. He liked to freeze animals. Yeah. So this is so first, like they show putting butterflies and like little bugs in like the ice cube tray, and you're like, okay, and then his dad comes out in the kitchen one night and he's literally putting the family cat in like in a Tupperware tray and like filling it with water, and was gonna put it in the freezer, and his dad just like backhands him. And so I understand like he goes into that career, but like it's really fucked up, like how it's portrayed. It like I said, if you guys can get your hands on this issue, it's really, really good. It's called Batman Arkham Files, Mr. Freeze. His parents, horrified by his hobby, send him to a strict reform school where he is miserable, bullied, abandoned by his parents. As a result, he feels detached from humanity. In college, he meets Nora, a woman who he ultimately marries. They have like a cute, nice little meet cute. She teaches him how to fucking ice skate. It's 18 months after Bruce Wayne becomes Batman, Nora contracts a fatal disease. So Freeze, not Fries, begins developing a freeze ray for GothCorp to preserve her in suspended animation until a cure can be found. Freeze's boss, Ferris Boyle, decides to tell the mob about the gun, leading Batman to create a team of specialists to help him do his job better. As Freeze puts Nora in suspended animation, Boyle interrupts and tampers with the experiment, resulting in an explosion that kills Nora. Freeze survives, but the chemicals in Freeze's ray lower his body temperature to a point where he must wear a cryogenic suit to survive. He swears revenge on those responsible for the death of his wife, whom he talks about often, and he becomes Mr. Freeze, the first superpowered villain whom Batman faces in this continuity. Eventually, Batman's operatives find Freeze and who shoots one of them with his freeze gun, but Batman eventually apprehends them. So
you can kind of see the starting to the evolution where they're getting closer to what they end up going with.
yeah, definitely, because oh, and Sparkles is here. Hi, Sparkles. And then yeah, because I always think Freeze is done better when Nora's alive.
Yeah. Well, because it changes him not just as a villain, but a villain that actually it puts him in. He believes he's doing the best for his wife.
Yes.
He is trying to save his wife. He has a mission, and it's in service of her, specifically to save her.
Yeah,
Making justifications on why he's doing bad.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's some stories that would benefit from Nora being dead, but that's when you need the no fucks given.
Yeah,
Mr. Freeze was like, with Nora being alive, it gives him motivations, but it also gives him something to lose. Where, there's a couple things where if Freeze is about to do something, but like you go behind that tank and be like, hey, what's this plug do? He'd be like, all right, like like it's getting a little out of hand. I said some things, you said some things, I froze some things. Why don't we just stop, leave my wife alone? But during the Underworld Unleashed storyline, Freeze sold his soul to Neron, who Neron is like almost like a Mephisto character, I would say. And if you guys don't know who Mephisto is, Neron, get the fuck out of here. No one's paying you, Wikipedia. Neron's like wow, that is some 1995 art right there. He's like the demon lord of hell. I mean, we don't have to get too much into it, but yeah, he's like a trickster, kind of devilish character. You don't see him very often. Not to be confused with Necron, who is also like a character that deals heavily in death. And there's a lot of Rons in comics. Oh, also Jake's here. Nito Cape. Yeah, he does have a great one. Yes, I remember the cover of this specifically and being like, oh, something's about to go down, and then being kind of disappointed where, oh, it's just mid. But yeah, during the Underworld Unleashed storyline, Mr. Freeze sold his soul to Neron in exchange for cryokinesis and temperature control, where the latter ability enables him to survive in warm temperatures without his cryogenic suit, while planning to freeze the elderly to preserve them. Mr. Freeze was secretly planning to steal their assets, causing his henchmen, Ice and Cube, to get concerned. Ice and Cube.
Ice and Cube.
Ice and Cube killed me. I was
wait. What year was this? Was this before Ice Cube? Is there a copyright infringement here?
Like, I think it was in like 95, 96, 95, late 95. Look at me on the money. I was gonna say it. Oh, look, wow, a lot of people on this one. It wasn't a bad story. It just, you get shit like Ice and Cube to get concerned. And this is well after they retconned him. So, this is like 3-4 years after they retconned him. Yeah. And then you make it this tragic character where, he has this awesome background and he's still doing shit like naming his henchmen Ice and Cube. So, I mean, there's a lot to explore here. So we should keep going. But I can't wait to get into the discussion on him. But we need to cover ground to get people, the uninitiated, in. So Though Batman defeats Mr. Freeze, he ends up getting away. He would somehow revert to his pre-upgraded appearance, causing him to sport a new cryogenic suit and wield a new freeze gun. Initially locked in Arkham Asylum, Freeze was eventually transferred to Gotham State Penitentiary, which seems odd. Yeah. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Stay cool, bird boy.
Hey, that's a pretty solid impression, I gotta tell you.
Thanks.
Good shit. Good shit.
Initially, yeah, I don't. I guess. No, let's keep reading, because I was like, I never imagined Freeze outside of Arkham. Like, I feel like they got a nice little ice box just for him, unless it's like for accommodation purposes. But he does not belong in a state penitentiary. Make no mistake, like he's a tragic character. He's a mentally ill character. Like, you know, they do a good job of that in that comic I was talking about, where it was like, you know, he's still like he's infatuated with freezing people. Like, you know, it was like for any other reason that, you know, in the pre-crisis, they were like, you know, it would just be, oh, and we lost Iron. It would just be super nice if I could just freeze an entire city. That would, you know, it's like he's a fucking lunatic. Let's see. He's from where he escaped and attempted to steal technology from Star Labs until he stopped.
Star Labs needs to stop getting broken into.
Dude, yeah, Star Labs, the security at Star Labs is just atrocious. And the sad part is, like, they're everywhere. So it was just like every major city in DC's America, there's the Star Labs, and it's got a broken lock on the door, and you can just like saunter on in.
The guards are just like, we go up.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I don't want to
Again.
get up. And yep, he will Iron will be right back after these messages. Shit, we can drop it. Yeah, today's episode is brought to you by El Gaucho.
For what's right. For love. My balls are a cry for justice. My dick veins are a cry of passion. I am El Gaucho.
So expect to see that 500 million times today. Yeah. I knew you guys would love it. Let's see. Oh yeah, allow me to break the ice. He does live. He does. That was the intention. My wife came down here last Saturday after the episode and caught me giggling like a maniac in front of my computer. And you know, and I didn't use like AI. I really, now that I think about it, I could have had like El Gaucho with like a fucking rose in his mouth, or, you know, just like riding a pony into the sunset. If anyone ever comes in saying who is El Gaucho, oh yeah, I mean, did he talk about his dick? Yeah, he did. His dick veins are a cry for passion. And he sounds like Ricardo Montalban.
El Gaucho doesn't put roses in his mouth.
No. She's got all the quotes from tonight. Hell freezes over. Mr. Freeze doesn't just threaten; he forecasts. I'm so vascular, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's like a Milky Way bar, or like a Snickers bar. It's got it's very veiny. And by the way, thanks for dropping in, Dempsey. But while we're still waiting, I think we can move on. During the No Man's Land storyline, which has its moments, but it ran for way too long and gets incredibly convoluted. That's where there's a huge earthquake in Gotham City, and the U.S. government basically goes, fuck it, it's a lost cause, and like basically blows up all the bridges to Gotham City and says it's not a part of the United States anymore. And, and it's insane. He is. He's a creatine enthusiast, but we all know his first love is equestrianism. We learned that the other day, because he is the best thing to come out of Batman Incorporated. You know what? I didn't hate Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. If you're going strictly off of the 1966 Batman, Arnold's Mr. Freeze is a wonderful evolution of that character. Where he's got all of his henchmen, he's like, sing. Let's see. Mr. Freeze sets up a base in the sewers, which is stumbled upon by Gearhead and Tommy Mangles. Mr. Freeze finds them, and he uses his freeze gun on them after getting information about a storage room with canned food in it. Yeah, that's another thing too. There's a lot of fights. Hey, the Gucciinator. Good to see you, buddy. We're talking Mr. Freeze today. So yeah, so No Man's Land is so a lot of things was like, since it's cut off from the government, it's basically like canned supplies, and anything you would find in like a post-apocalyptic world is kind of important. What is this? So yeah. Oh, are you talking about El Gaucho?
For what's right. For love. My paws are a cry for justice. My dick veins are a cry of passion. I am El Gaucho.
She is right. Oh, and Iron's back. Yeah, I have been annoying the shit out of my wife with this video. It's
good. Oh shit.
It's feels right. Yeah, so I mean, I guess we can kind of skip over. No one cares what happens to Gearhead and Tommy Mangles in No Man's Land. It's not that great. We're trying to get, so we have an established retcon for Mr. Freeze now, and then like all good things, they go into the New 52, and the New 52 goes, why don't we fuck it up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this, there's this wonderful thing we have. What can the New 52 do to fuck it up? And enemy of the channel, New 52, for sure.
I think out of everything the New 52 did, this was the most egregious offense.
Okay, arguably the worst thing to ever happen in America in September. The New 52 rebooted DC.
Oh wow.
The New 52 rebooted DC's continuity. It's 10 years past. We're fine. Okay, what? I can't make like Pearl Harbor jokes either. Like, where do we draw the line, Iron? Okay, it was over 20 years ago. They rebooted the DC's continuity, and in this timeline, during Night of Owls storyline, the Court of Owls sends an assassin known as Talons, which, okay, that is something cool that came out of the New 52. But to kill 40 of the most important citizens in Gotham, including Mr. Freeze, the Red Hood, Starfire, Arsenal. They choose to save him and subsequently remand him into Batgirl's custody. Batman Annual Volume 2, Number 1 introduces the new origin, Mr. Freeze. Here, Victor Freeze his Mr. Freeze's fascination with cryogenics began when he was a boy and his mother fell through the ice of a frozen lake. The ice was able to keep her preserved long enough for help to arrive, thus sparking his lifelong obsession with cold. It is later revealed that the accident left Freeze's mother in constant pain. Freeze ended up ending her suffering by pushing her into the same frozen lake. Damn.
Move.
Yeah, what an asshole. And then for you guys watching on Kick, thank you. And everyone, if you could like and share the show, that would be great, because how else are we going to spread the Church of El Gaucho if if it's just limited here? But yeah, on to
For
the
justice.
for justice.
Veins cry out for passion.
Yes. Stay Gaucho, my friends. Stay Gaucho. So he kills his mom in the same lake that he saw her fall in. In this new origin, Nora was never Freeze's wife. Her name was Nora Fields, a woman born in 1934. When Nora was 23, she was diagnosed with incurable heart disease, so her family placed her in a cryogenic stasis, hoping that the cure would be found in the future. So they Walt Disney'd her. When her name was Nora Fields, yada yada. Oh, why don't I scroll? That makes it easier to read. Spinning, that's a neat trick. Freeze, having written his doctoral thesis on Nora, took on the position as a cryogenic researcher and technician at Wayne Enterprises, the facility that housed Nora's body. Eventually, he fell in love with Nora and became dedicated to finding a reliable method for slowly thawing cryogenic subjects. However, Bruce Wayne orders a project to be shut down as he began to feel uncomfortable with Freeze's obsession with Nora. Furious, Freeze hurled the chair at Wayne, who dodged the attack. The chair smashed into an array of cryogenic chemical tanks, and the contents of which sprayed onto Freeze, transforming him into Mr. Freeze. What a load of shit. You had
I mean, Batman made Joker by dropping him into the vat of chemicals. So let's make Batman also be the one that actually created Freeze.
That is just, yeah. And then he's just like walking up. He's like, "Hey, Harvey, I just got this cup of acid." Oh no! I would love it if they retconned it where Batman is responsible for the origins of like all of his bad guys.
Oh yeah, Batman. The only reason Batman exists is because he's the one creating the supervillains, so that he has a job.
They might as well make him do it on
klutz. You done it again.
He's doing it on purpose. Oh, it'd be terrible if you dressed like a clown and fought me all the time. Don't do that.
It was like, shit, I don't got anything going on this Tuesday. Oh, Harvey, no.
Oh, man, here's a coin I found. Take that.
Refreshing. So let's see if there's anything else. Well, we don't really kind of talk about too is I think Nora eventually gets thawed out and she's like disgusted with him.
Yeah.
Now is that or is that the old continuity? I really got upset when they retconned Freeze this way.
Now, they do that.
Riska gets it. He Sparta kicks Oswald into a vat of penguins.
No, I think they do have Nora come back. I want to say it's in Batman Begins or one of them, like in the original. And she's not disgusted. She just can't be with him because of all the bad things he's done. That.
Oh yeah, no. On this, it was like this is a Nora that he doesn't even know. Like,
no.
This is terrible. Like, because you feel sympathy for Victor when it was like, hey, this is the only person in his life who didn't treat him like absolute shit. And and he's willing to do whatever to protect her and to bring her back, but also bring her and find a cure for her. And this accident happens to him, and he turns his back on love, and he kind of decides, like, if he can't have it, no one else can. And like, that's something that's so relatable. And it was like, when something bad happens to us, there's this initial, maybe I'm just kind of speaking, out of turn here, but like, my initial thing is like, I kind of shut down emotionally, like, whether I'm just going through the motions or whatever. It was like, it takes me time to come to terms with what happened. You know what I mean? It's just like the stages of grief, and he literally freezes. I can make puns too. He's stuck in that mindset where it was like, if I can't have it, no one else can. And and he says things like, I'm void of emotions. I don't have it. It was like, he's probably the most emotional villain that we have. It is just he refuses to acknowledge it because the pain is too great. We are just getting so many puns in the chat, and I'm loving it. Talk about
Shit.
Where's the voice? What do you want me to read in the voice, Sparkles?
Talk about old show.
Oh, yeah. What was? Yeah, I can't even do it. What is the other one? What's the dust that Poison Ivy like blows in his face?
Winter Punderland.
Oh, sing. Oh my God, it's becoming so too excessive. Yes. Okay, so now we're getting into Rebirth. Which Doomsday Clock, I don't know if we'll ever get around to Doomsday Clock. Basically, they intertwined the characters from Watchmen and brought them directly into regular DC continuity. And in some cases, it was kind of cool, but in most cases, they just fumbled the bag. Yes, there you go. There you go, Sparkles. I'm afraid your condition has left me cold to your pleas and mercy. Happy? Can we continue now, Miss Sparkles? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. All right. Yeah, so in 2016, I don't remember Rebirth being that early. Okay, but I nothing. Got a panel of guys here. No one's gonna help. I thought for some reason Rebirth was
sounds
at
about
least
right.
2018.
No, 16 sounds about right.
Yeah. Actually, I would have put him about 14, 15, but yeah.
Really? All right. I don't know. I guess my pain just went on longer. Although actually there was a point in time where I was so fed up with the New 52, like I stopped reading comics for a little bit, or I stopped reading DC for a little bit. So I probably didn't get back into Rebirth until 2018. That tracks for me. So DC Comics implemented another relaunch of its books called DC Reverb, which restored its continuity from what was priorly the New 52. In Doomsday Clock, Mr. Freeze is among the villains to meet with the Riddler and discuss the Superman theory. When the comedian crashes the meeting, Freeze's helmet is punctured by a bullet and is shot by an unseen combatant. In the Ends of the Earth storyline, an arc of All-Star Batman, which is whole nother can of worms. I think we talked about that last time, and it was like Frank Miller's always been a little out there. Frank Miller lost his fucking mind with All-Star Batman. But Freeze was awoken. Freeze has awoken many people that have been held in a cryogenic stasis, using them as an army to steal resources. So he's back to his old trick. So he's got the ice zombies again, and to steal resources for his research to cure his wife Nora, himself, and all these people, and plans to release a deadly bacteria held in one of the Earth's oldest ice cores to make a new world. But Batman has injected himself with a cold-resistant virus that becomes airborne when his skin is exposed and is able to kill the spores. Super fun. It's just like we can't
have a tragic character. You got to turn him into just a pure villain with going back to the old ways.
It's like we discussed many times on this show. It was like, it seems like modern audiences don't, or modern writers, like, they don't understand nuance. And it was like, one of the reasons this character is so intriguing is, because he's tragic. It's the same thing with Two-Face. Like, he's a tragic character. And let's get that. Why didn't you tell me it looked like a robot was sticking his pecker in my face?
I thought that was the look you were going for.
Yes, it was actually. This is just gonna be for the whole show. Yes, it's a shame, that we can't have characters like this. And it was like, heaven forbid that this guy would want to do something to, save his wife, or, keep their love pure, keep it, make it the best damn thing that ever happened to Victor, because people understand that. It was like, he says it in the show. He's like, yes, I would kill for that. Like, you relate to that, because, like, if something bad happens to someone you love, you would do whatever you can.
Yeah,
and,
including horrible things.
Yeah, it doesn't help that he's fucking crazy. That's but you understand, even though he's misguided, it's almost admirable the lengths that he's willing to go to save his wife. And then when you just kind of like take that away, or it's like, oh, she's an ice gal from the 30s, and you're like, what?
He's just an incel with an obsession.
Yeah. Okay. It was like, because even then, like, it was still fine to have him do supervillain shit with the whole Nora thing, where it was like, because he is crazy, and it was like, okay, I want to save my wife, but if on the way I freeze all of Gotham, I'll be happy with that too. It works. Yeah, I did, dear. I did earlier. You'll soon find that revenge is a dish best served cold. I'm not saying the whole quote. It's long. We can get into powers and abilities. I mean, unless it's in other continuities or certain things, there's certain adaptations where he is like a cryokinetic, where but he usually has a freeze gun. His suit gives him strength, sometimes speed. I don't like speed. I like to think of Mr. Freeze as like a tank. Like, it was like you can avoid him, and he's got the long range blasts, but like if you go toe to toe with Mr. Freeze, he can grab you with one arm and you're pretty much donezo. You're the opposite of Freeze. You're toast. Like he's gonna get you. But some people argue that was because of the accident. Like, it's not really the suit, where it, like, tightened his muscles or everything. I was like, no, the guy wears a suit. You're overthinking it. Let's But let's see. Yeah, reception 67 of the one of the best comic villains of all time. If you keep the continuity that everybody likes, I'd say he's in the top 10.
Yeah, maybe even top 5 of
Yeah,
at least Batman villains.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, especially when you look at his motivations. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Reverse Flash, and I think like he deserves to be high up on that list. But like his motivations are like he's obsessed with Barry Allen. He just like he was a fan from the future who got so obsessed. He was like, well, I love this guy so much, I'm gonna go back in time and fuck with him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was very comic booky. Mr. Freeze has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful what are you saying? Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did have a concert last night, and I did sing my ass off, and hopefully there is video of it because it was fucking cool. Take my word for it. But yeah, no, you can understand Mr. Freeze's motivations. They're clear cut. Even people like Ra's al Ghul, you kind of lose focus. I was like, does he want to like destroy the world or start over again, or is he just run a giant criminal organization? And it was like, it really kind of depends on who's writing. Now, I mean, it's different. I guess it depends on what era or who's writing, but I seem if you stick with what makes Mr. Freeze good, he would actually be a pretty easy character to understand his motivations and to write for. It's only when these hacks get into the writer's room and go, this is really awesome, what can we do to screw with it? That's
He tortured animals.
Right. Or they see what's good about it is not good. Like, oh, he's motivated by his love for his wife. What if we made him an abusive husband that just throws his wife because he's a dick and won't let her go? Because that's one of the retcons they do eventually.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing in Absolute Batman right now is atrocious, and we're not even going to cover it because I don't like very much about the Absolute.
I don't like anything about Absolute Batman.
I hear that Absolute Martian Manhunter might be worth reading, but everything else, I don't like Absolute. I don't like what they did with Absolute Superman. I don't like Absolute Flash, and Absolute Batman has been, the things that haven't been really predictable are so off the wall that they're retarded. It was like, oh well, you didn't see that. Oh, that's an original idea. No, it's I guess, yeah, it's original, but it's so stupid. I thought no one was gonna go there, but you decided to go there. Yeah, Mr. Freeze has been too compelling for too long. This is unacceptable. It's like, damn it. Guys, it's not impression hour. We're trying to educate normies, okay? And I can't do that by, making choices. I mean, I liked metal. Death metal started to go off the rails. Death metal was kind of
I didn't hate it, but I mean, it was kind of fun. But
when Batman had the Black Lantern ring, I was like, wow, that was actually a pretty good twist. Do they have that in there? Did they cover it? Well, they have it in Dark Knight's Metal. Mr. Freeze is given a special playing card by the Batman Who Laughs to give him innate cryokinesis. So like that's always his upgrade, is he doesn't need the gun anymore. Mr. Freeze and his frost monsters fought different superheroes who moved through his domain. Robin is the one who defeated Mr. Freeze, and he regressed back to normal. Yeah, he never there's never any like ramifications like after he gets like upgraded. Like he always just like, well, I'll just go back to being a frozen dude. So yeah, and usually if they're not using him, you always kind of see him in his icy room in Arkham Asylum. Let's go through other versions. Nice. Yeah, no, death metal. I'm not knocking death metal. Like it's worth the read. Well, I'm sorry that I can't do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression through for the whole show. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot too. It was like, you know, Batman has to like slowly thaw these people out because like the shot, you know, like the shock would kill them. You can't really get on the science behind it because like the science as of now is impossible. Like you can't really like there are certain surgeries where they cool people down and, you know, slow their heart rate and things like that, but like you can't completely cover someone head to toe in ice, walk away for a little while, and then thaw them out and they're alive. Like that, it just doesn't work that way.
No.
Okay. It was like, you know, you're not Captain America, anybody, or Encino Man. It's just not happening.
Time
but-
Child. Cartman being frozen for thousands of years.
Oh yeah.
Time Child.
The Time Child, they actually find a caveman in season 1. His name is Gorak. But he was only frozen from 1995, which was funny because the show came out in 97, and
Yeah.
to make him more comfortable with his surroundings, they dressed him up in Eddie Vedder and were playing Ace of Base. That's when South Park was amazing. Yeah. Let's go through alternate versions. Flashpoint, quintessential read for any comic book fan, but it also started in the New 52. So, in
Was it
2011,
worth it?
yeah, the ends don't justify the means, but it is a wild read. It is
Barry
A
Allen.
lot of good stuff in there.
yeah, especially the end when Barry gives Bruce the note.
Fuck.
Hits you right here.
And God, I hope we do a whole Thomas Wayne episode.
We're definitely going to do a Thomas Wayne episode. Because his continuity is kind of crazy. As you know, especially like Gold and Silver Age, they just use him as like because you don't know that much about him and he's dead in the current like continuity. They'll be like, well, you know, Thomas Wayne was actually the first Batman, and you're like, really? And it was like, well, he dressed up like Batman, or he dressed up like a bat at a costume party one time, and he stopped a bad guy, so technically he's the first Batman. And you're like, okay, that's kind of a bullshit misdirect, but I guess you got me. Semantics, but sure. But either way, Flashpoint, the Flashpoint storyline, an alternate timeline variant of Victor Freeze, Mr. Freeze, appears in Flashpoint. Citizen Cold. This version is a friend of Fallout and an enemy of the eponymous. Well, how do you say that? I should know this. I'm an educated.
Yeah, I
eponymous. There we go. I was like, I can comprehend. I just can't read and speak out loud. It's a flaw, especially when you're having a YouTube show. It's not great. Who later kills Freeze? Eponymous, yeah. Freeze's motivations revolve around seeking a cure for Fallout's radioactive powers. Okay, so I mean that's kind of true to the character. Yeah. He shows up in Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is actually a pretty awesome crossover. If you guys get around to reading that, he turns into a polar bear. All of Batman's rogues gallery turn into like anthropomorphic versions of themselves. Like the Joker turns into a hyena. I think Bane turns into a gorilla. Either way, we're getting sidetracked. So he's defeated by Robin, Splinter, Batman, White Knight. The alternate universe variant Victor Freeze appears in Batman White Knight as a version retired from his criminal lifestyle to focus on curing his wife Nora from her disease. See, that feels like the natural progression where that's another thing that we didn't discuss. Like, for the most part, like if you just leave Mr. Freeze alone, it was like he only gets in trouble when like his funds get short on research, and then instead of like asking someone like Bruce for help, which like I think he would at this point, he's like, oh, I better just go like rob a museum or steal a bunch of diamonds, and it's just like that's not the best way to do it. But then again, he's insane. Oh, look who dropped in. Joker voice, good to see you. Hiya, kiddies. Greatest episode of Batman, the animated series. Have a great day, folks. I got WWE and Taco Night at Arkham. Got a table reserved. He does, because it is Taco Night at Arkham Asylum because it's a madhouse. I don't know why they don't have it on Tuesdays like normal people. So he's let's see. Oh, there we go. So see, this is how you can tell Mr. Freeze in other media. It's not even on his main page. Look at the Arnie suit. Still looking good.
Yep.
It was the best part of that.
I mean, yeah, even his casting wasn't bad. It was really the script. I think if he was given something more in line with the original episode from the animated series, it could have been great, or at least good, not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. But you also have lines like in the animated series, like, think of it, Batman, to never walk again on a summer's day with the hot wind in your face and a warm hand to hold. Oh yes, I'd kill for that. And then you can imagine like Arnie be like, think of it, Batman. And you're like, I don't know if it translates.
I mean, they had Hugo Weaving right there in the prime of his career. It's like, really?
Oh,
you went with
Patrick
Schwarzenegger?
Stewart. Patrick Stewart would have been a great Mr. Freeze.
I'd put him on there on my list. Hugo's definitely
Hugo
number
Weaving
one for me.
Just been out of this world.
Yeah.
Let's go down this rabbit hole. Mr. Freeze and other media. I mean, there's some wild adaptations of this character, especially throughout the years. I mean, I think in the Batman, he's like a walking glacier. like his design is insane.
Yeah.
But live action, we got OG Otto Preminger, and like I said, if you're doing a 1-for-1 adaptation from this version of Mr. Freeze to this version, Batman and Robin, this is a great adaptation. Like if you're overlooking, it's only they kind of add in Nora, and then Poison Ivy kills her, and she probably says something like a 1950s like movie star. It's like, I never liked playing second fiddle, and then unplugs it.
Pretty sure that's the exact line. Yeah.
I've actually won awards for my Uma Thurman. Flawless, I know. Watch this. Wiggle your big toe. It's like you're there.
It's uncanny.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see. The pre-crisis version. Wait, hold on. The original incarnation of Mr. Freeze off of the pre-crisis version, named Dr. Shivel, appeared in Batman 1966 by George Sanders. There's a 2-part. Okay. So this is just all the different versions in the 66. Victor Freeze in Gotham. All right. Here we have the progression of how he looks in the animated series. Yeah. I like the OG suit. I didn't hate the upgrade because we talked about this before. Like the new Batman Adventures kind of screwed up a lot of characters' designs.
Yeah, and some of them weren't that. Some of them were an improvement, very few, and some of them were just okay. This falls in line with that. It's fine.
Yeah,
I like the original better, but it's okay.
I mean, well, you want to talk about tragic characters, especially in the animated series, when you get the natural progression of this character, eventually, and maybe they'll have a picture of it, like,
Spiderhead.
yeah, Mr. Freeze
Ugh.
is just a head, by
What's your
Batman
thoughts?
Beyond.
Did that kind of I kind of didn't like that. It's like, really, we're going that far with the character, and that's where
I'm thoroughly upset. Like, like, you kind of want Freeze to get some form of solace, and it's like there's, you don't want him ending up looking like Nixon in Futurama. Like, this is
right
this is
on
terrible.
spider legs. No, and especially coming out of the direct to video movie Sub-Zero, that was so freaking good. It's like we go from that to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but then they bring it back in Beyond. I loved that episode of Beyond.
Yeah.
Almost as it was a callback to the original episode.
And by the way, another little thing here. Ferris Boyle, who shows up in the animated series, is voiced by Mark Hamill. Before he lost his goddamn mind. The version of former Goth Corp scientist embezzled funds to cryogenically preserve his terminally ill wife, Nora, until a lab accident rendered him unable to live at average temperatures, forced to wear a Sub-Zero suit for survival. His alter ego and backstory were conceived by writer Paul Dini, who would subsequently be integrated into the comics and other media. So we have that. Then we have the new Batman adventures, Batman, Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero, like we were just talking about. Nora in that one, Nora is cured and remarries while Freeze's mutation degrades his body, only leaving his head intact. Using a robotic spider legs and a new exosuit, Freeze vows to destroy what others value most, but he plans to freeze Gotham City with a reverse fusion bomb, and is foiled by Batman and Batgirl. See, that would make sense, where, like, he did all this work to cure his wife. She goes, nah.
See ya.
And then
you're not the guy I thought you were.
Yeah, and also you don't got a dick anymore, so, like, I don't think it's gonna work. And then he goes, you know what? I'm gonna freeze the whole city. That feels like a natural progression for that character. Just wanting him
so
to,
he
like,
didn't
freeze.
take the divorce well.
No. Yes. Yeah, here's another one. You beg. In my nightmares, I see my Nora behind the glass begging to me with frozen eyes. How I've longed to see that look frozen on you. Yeah, no. The ladies mess with El Gato. Like, El Gato ain't or El Gaucho ain't catching feelings.
El Gaucho is not Mr. Right, but El Gaucho is Mr. Right now.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry that you have gone and caught some feelings. El Gaucho, away.
No, I swear this is not my profile on Grindr.
Yeah. Oh, I have to go. I just got a ping on Bumble.
You may be pregnant. El Gaucho disappear into the
Yeah. I need to go get a pack of cigarettes. I'll see you in 18 years.
Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Every time you leave screen.
Yeah, just then, like, a little tumbleweed goes by. Yeah, we all understand El Gaucho here. Freeze makes his final appearance in Batman Beyond episode Meltdown. His disembodied head is preserved over the decades until his brain is transformed into a clone body by Derek Powers and Stephanie Lake, who later attempt to kill him to biopsy his organs. When he begins to revert to his original mutated form, Freeze escapes and uses his advanced suit of armor to kill Lake, leading to a conversation between both Powers and the new Batman that ends with Freeze refusing Batman's help and remaining in Powers' collapsing medical compound. Now, here we go. This is his design in the Batman. And I mean, yeah, he's just, like I said, just a tank. He is a walking glacier in this one.
Kind of reminds me almost like if they were to move that to a live action, like the Batman and Robin Bane.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, and he's voiced by Clancy Brown in this. So yeah, wonderful actor, excellent voice actor, Clancy Brown. The original voice for Lex Luthor in the animated series, I believe, and like one of the best bad guys ever in Highlander.
Oh, yeah, hands down.
That scene where he's in the church is just unrivaled.
My favorite scenes when he carjacks the old couple. He looks at
that's great too.
Mom.
Yeah, I might have to watch Highlander after this.
Victor Freeze appeared in DC Superhero Girl short, but voiced by John Delancey. I'm sorry, I don't see Q doing the voice of Mr. Freeze.
No, I don't see that either. He does appear in Brave and the Bold. He's voiced by John DiMaggio. John DiMaggio is awesome. Young Justice, he looked awesome in Young Justice. This is before they screwed him up. I don't know who this guy is. Let's see. He's best known for his roles in The Equalizer. Daniel Holtz on Angel.
Oh no, not Angel.
Gerald Stevens in The Dark Knight. Gerard Stevens. Why do I know that? Okay, moving on. I was just having a Justice League action, which is Teen Titans Go. The Night King.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't remember. I was like, I don't remember him Teen Titans, but that's Go, which
yeah, Teen Titans.
I only watched a handful of episodes.
Teen Titans Go. It's almost, it's definitely meant for kids, but it's also like that show Superhero Squad, where it's just littered with things. If you happen to get suckered into it, like watching it with your kids, they have a bunch of like references that only like adult DC fans would understand. You're like, it's in the continuity.
I'll admit, after I watched the Teen Titans Go movie, which I really, really enjoyed, that's when I kind of got a little more appreciation for the show after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's bombastic. I mean, it's definitely, but it's not in the way of where it's like wholesome, like Batman Brave and the Bold, where this is just like, hey, we're really diving deep into the continuity, looking at like Silver Age Batman, but like anyone can watch it. Definitely kids can watch. This was just like, if you're over the age of 12 and you're watching this, you're gonna be like, this is kind of dumb, but it has its purpose. Let's see. Harley Quinn, show that we will not but also
okay, I want to stop on this episode because I was going to review the whole season. I watched every episode of season 1, and then that's it. That episode, they actually brought back they say he's based on his new 52 incarnation. No, from what I remember, he's more based on the original Batman the Animated Series. They make him sympathetic again. It's the only good episode, if I remember.
Well, and they have Alfred Molina, which is actually an awesome pick.
Yeah.
Especially just the way that he portrays Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 is very similar to how we regard Victor Freeze in the way that we know him. Just kind of like, he's a scientist
victim
and
of
like, one of his, and his experiment gets the better of him. It's not him doing it. It's something that's actively making him crazy. you know, that's an excellent pick. I'm shocked that it was in this shit show.
Horrible show, but
horrible show, but what wonderful casting. I'm actually kind of blown away.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch that episode because I remember it's like, wow, and this of all shows, they finally go back to getting Mr. Freeze right.
All right, and then of course, you know, stay cool, bird boy. Yes, a movie there in 1997. Robin yells "Cowabunga," which is dated even for 1997, and you know, besides Bart Simpson and maybe Michelangelo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not a lot of people like got away with yelling "Cowabunga." I haven't seen a.
It was probably due to the interaction with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that brought that into his lexicon. So.
Yeah, he predicted it. You know, in 15 years, they're gonna have this. It is peak cinema. Alfred's not sick; he's dying. Uncle Alfred.
Bruce, it's me.
This is my California niece. Who dropped out of school to you know, get into motorcycle racing. It all makes sense. You're not going to find a lot of holes in this movie.
Don't ask questions, just go with
it. You know, but this was back in the era though. So like we have been so spoiled, and we're actually in an Icarus like fashion getting too close to the sun with comic book movies, because now it's getting so like when Steel came out, I remember it was like, oh wow, they're gonna try to adapt John Henry Irons' story, and they're like, okay, Shaq's gonna be in it. I was like, not a great start, but like I'll give it a shot. You gave it a shot because comic book movies didn't really pull the way that they do now. You know, so like you kind of took what you could get. And even with big properties like Batman, you know, they weren't always like spot on. It really wasn't until we started getting things like, you know, like Nolan, which I would even say is kind of it's definitely a deviation from the comic. But you know, and as much as people like to talk about the MCU, also deviations from the comic, but like so much better than what we got in the 90s, where I mean, you know, besides a couple outliers like Bane, or not Bane, Blade, you know, things like that, but you know, people really didn't take them seriously. You would get a good box office draw, but I mean, the Hollywood machine as a whole didn't like recognize it as serious cinema. It really wasn't until The Dark Knight where, you know, people started taking a look at these movies, not only like technically, but like even to like give them roles. I mean, the fact that Heath Ledger, you know, got best supporting actor, which rightfully so, but it was like, oh, now these movies are in the main front. So, you know, even though you had big names like Schwarzenegger, which I'm positive that had to be a big chunk of that movie's budget, because I mean, Arnie was still in the zone at this point in time in his career. And yeah, it says right here, Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1997 was paid $25 million for the role. That's insane. Yeah, the Mr. Freeze costume was designed by armorer Terry English, and it took 6 hours to apply each day. I mean, that's good on you, Arnie. I'm sure doesn't look light either.
No, I don't think it breathes very well. So
no. I do like that scene though when they're moving him in Arkham and they just have him in an old refrigerator.
Yeah,
that does crack me up.
It's not a refrigerator, it's a deep freeze.
Yeah, it's a coolerator. Ooh, outside casting. Who's the dude? Who's the black guy that they keep wanting for James Bond?
Idris Elba.
Yeah, he might make a very interesting Mr. Freeze.
I could get behind that. I think Idris Elba would be an even better pick for Ra's al Ghul if you're going to go in that
Ooh,
direction.
I like that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what is this? Batman the Animated Series. Freeze made a home. I just saw Inuit son. Canuck or Kunak. Yeah, I mean, all right, we can talk. They also did him very they gave him a lot of justice in the Arkham games. The look was
absolutely.
good. Let's see if we can find it. Definitely not
that.
Not that. I remember renting that game and going. Otherwise, this was before the Arkham games. Like, this is as good as it got. Where I was like, I actually want to go back.
Hardcore. If you pre-ordered that, you got one of the animated series figures, an exclusive, like the Kenner ones that came out back in the day.
Nice.
That thing is a rare find.
This is like the holy grail of Batman games. I really want to. I haven't even been able to play it, but everyone says it's awesome. It's a vehicular combat game. You're driving as the Batmobile, and it's one of those like cockpit driver games, but like, who doesn't want to drive the Batmobile? Yeah, these were the Telltale games. I like the Telltale games.
I like those a lot. They fuck up the story, but it's not bad if you take it for what it is. It's its own standalone thing. Go with it. They take a lot of liberties, but I enjoyed both of them. I wish that the Telltales had come back.
Yeah, me too. Why am I not seeing Arkham City? Am I losing my mind?
Yeah, I don't see it on there.
Oh, okay. That's because it's its own fucking category. I was gonna be like, there's no way they screwed this up. Jay Viper, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I was like, I'm waiting for the whole chat to be up in an uproar. No, okay, yeah, no, it's got its own. Okay, yeah. So he appears in Arkham Asylum. Yeah, just in a cell, but like when you get to Arkham City, which is my favorite game in this series. It's hard because I really like Asylum's story. And just like exploring, but like when you open up the whole city, it's great. But then by the time you get to Arkham Knight, it's like, I don't want to do this many Batmobile missions. Even though it was cool, it was originally started cool, but yeah, I can't find his design. We can just Google it. Arkham Mr. Freeze, because it's worth noting, because this is an excellent suit design. Okay, Arkham City, Mr. Freeze. Yeah, it's a good one. All right, let's just. Oh, okay. So they got a bunch right here. Cool beans. Stop screen. Oh, look at that thumbnail. Just staring right into your soul. Pinterest for the win. These are his different designs. I like all of them. I think it's a good look. The only thing I don't like is like the straps that remind me of those late 90s Oakleys that like go over the top. Yeah, it kind of got like a Psycho Manus look here. Yeah, but yeah, his designs are awesome. The character, it doesn't stray to. Oh, this is sweet.
Oh yeah, sitting on the throne.
Yeah. and it's
Now,
kind of
some of them are a little big. It's like he really is a walking refrigerator, but I mean, I get it, but it's a little much, but I don't hate it.
Hold on, Dempsey's got a question. Do you think Mega Man can take Mr. Freeze? And not only do I think he could take Mr. Freeze, you will take Mr. Freeze and then use his cryogenic powers to beat a different robot.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Ooh, yeah, the silhouette with just like the glowing red eyes. Clearly when done right, just an absolute beast of a character. Let's go back here, and we're getting to the second half of the second hour. So why don't we just do like some final thoughts, character analysis, things we like about the character, things that you should and should not do with this character. And like I said, that's usually when you see older I should probably share this instead. Usually when you see like some of these older costumes, they're starting to fall apart. Like this looks like it's mostly plastic and metal. Like this is gonna be around for a long time. Like, you know, if you've seen the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
nightmare fuel
foam costumes and what they look like,
literal corpses. They look like corpses.
Yep. Best Mr. Freeze is
Miss Freeze. Yeah, we didn't touch the Suicide Squad game. Bad Asian lesbian.
I think
Mr.
so.
Freeze.
I can't. Did we skip that?
We did.
Oh, damn. You know what? I'd rather just play the El Gato thing instead.
For what's right. For love. My paws are a cry for justice. My dick veins are a cry of passion. I am El Gaucho.
Yeah, we really got to get some castanets for the show to make it authentic. Yeah, no, we're not going to cover they, them, Mr. Freeze, Pouty, because everything about that was an abomination. And thank God it didn't end up being Kevin Conroy's last bout as Batman. Even though the Crisis on Infinite Earths wasn't great either, at least when they got to that section of it in the animated movie, they did that part a little bit of justice. And, you know, you felt like you were back in that world for a second where you're like, oh, that was fun. Back to this horse shit.
Crap.
What is Victor and Nora, Gotham Love Story? Oh, it's a young adult novel. Never mind. I'm sure it's I mean, which is fine. You know, they like I said, they did that in that Arkham, like I said, in Arkham Files, which I to this day I read that comic into the ground, and like you really felt for the character. Like even though he was damaged and like he was like freezing animals and stuff, like you almost like felt sympathetic. It was like, you know, like when his father's beating him and calling him an embarrassment, and you know, and it was like, and then all of a sudden this angel just comes out of nowhere, and you know, she's beautiful and she sees something in Victor that no one else sees, and to watch that slowly get ripped from him, you truly experience like the grief with him, and you're actually rooting for him why he's doing these certain things, because like you understand what he's lost. And I don't know, just to mess with something like that, it just feels like blasphemy. I don't hate the design too much. It does kind of eliminate the point of having a cryo suit when you have your arms out, and you're obviously wasting a bunch of stuff here, as the cryo stuff that you need to keep you cool is just blatantly leaking out of the suit. Doesn't seem that effective. Yeah, I agree. It's hubris. It's like in anything, Rings of Power is a great example where you get these writers, they get some of the utmost scholars in Tolkien, and then they get fired within the first week because they're not meshing well with the writers. Where you go, it's like, oh yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien, I know better. Sure you do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, it's malicious. They don't like this stuff, and it's purposeful to ruin it. And I can't be convinced otherwise.
Yes. So the Victor Freeze we know and love would Rangs. Yes, I mean Rangs. Yeah, because left to his own devices, if Nora wasn't sick, he would stay married to Nora. They would have kids. They would have, the nuclear family. And you can't even want to have that. No, he's got to be some creeper incel now.
Yeah.
Like they're always gonna kind of assassinate those characters. Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, this design is no slouch. I still prefer the animated series, but this is a good design. It's got the best of everything. It still, it still looks like a tank. It still looks like it's like adequately designed where, like unlike this one where you got a bunch of shit like leaking out and you're like, how does he even stay cold? It's completely contained. It looks formidable. It looks intimidating, and it looks functional. So like I'm really into it. Like I've heard a lot of people go like, oh, like it's 90s slop, and I was like, there's no pockets. I don't see a bunch of pockets. No, this is good design right here.
It's great.
This looks functional. I don't know. I mean, the midriff is a little much, but like I don't care. You got to be able to move around.
At the top, it should be cargo jeans and a flannel.
Yeah. And I don't see I mean, it's no El Gaucho, but I mean which is peak design. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, you can just anything pre-crisis, you can just throw that in the garbage. I mean, when you have a company that's a slave to its lore, the way that DC is, where when they retcon something, they'll go to great lengths to explain why they retcon it, where they just throw everything in the garbage to come up with a better story. And that is just because, Paul Dini was really, really cooking when he wrote this episode. So, yeah, the definitive version is, of course, Heart of Ice from the animated series. Everything else is either a echo of that or a poor substitute. You're either gonna follow that and use that as your structure, or you're not doing the character correct. There's no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Dempsey, you complete me. Thank you. Yeah. So, Emerald, what's your major thoughts on this character before we start wrapping it up here?
With I again, Heart of Ice is what the definitive, I think, of the character, because it really does speak to the character doing whatever he can. The means justify the ends when it comes to family, specifically the wife.
Yes,
Love it.
So it makes him a much more relatable character, and you can kind of understand where he's coming from on that. But he is a bad guy because he is doing evil. But again, it's using the means justify the ends. So, I mean, I think what they did with the retconning of him for the show, I think, was a perfect, and I think that is the quintessential perfect Mr. Freeze when it comes down to the character himself.
Yeah. And he really is. They do show like he is kind of an incel until he meets Nora. It was like
Yeah.
God put this angel on Earth just for him, and then he takes it away, and then he becomes the super incel. You know, like it's all of the creepy stuff stops, you know, like once he meets Nora. And but it's important that you establish that there is that little bit of depravity there first, where it was like, oh, he's kind of at that crossroads, he can go either way, and then, you know, he chooses the way, you know, the right way when Nora's there, and then we see that he fast tracks over the other way, but he's doing it to get her back. So like, I mean, it's incredible. How about you, Iron?
So I kind of want to piggyback off what Emerald said with the what you would do for family. And I think that's why the character is that sympathetic and relatable to people, because if pushed into a corner to protect or avenge your family, how far would most people go? Or at least not even, you know, subconsciously, maybe not willing to accept that you would do terrible, horrible, evil things in the name of, you know, your family, even if it means, you know, imprisonment, death, or even your family hating you for what you did, even on their behalf. And that's why that character and that episode is so profound. And any changes from that just ruin everything. And I don't see why it's that hard to keep that character out. Is because Paul Dini, I mean, this isn't the only character he did this with these goofy Silver Age characters. He did the same thing with Clock King. Not as good, not as profound, but they made him interesting.
Well, yeah, they made him relatable, where you know, it was like you take a guy who's so organized and like just give him the
one
worst
really
day
bad
of his,
day.
yeah, you know, when all of that crumbles and you see his life crumble, where someone was just like, hey, relax a little bit. He does, and look what happens. Like his entire life falls apart. So it's like the biggest "I told you so," you know, and it shows that, you know, people get set in their ways for a reason. Like you do what works when you, especially, you know, when you become a man a certain age, like when you throw a wrench in that engine and you've been doing the same shit for 20 years, you might be surprised with the reaction that you get. And the Clock King is a clear reaction of that. Also, I think too, you in some ways you can, you know, just depending on how he's written, if you wrote him differently, Mr. Freeze could easily be the hero in the story, or at least an anti-hero, where you know, it was like it's no different than, so is Liam Neeson in Taken. He's not a good guy, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to get his daughter back. And you know, and
that's what was kind of popping in my head a little bit, was the whole Liam Neeson Taken type aspect. It's like, at what point what's the extreme you're willing to go for family? What for the ones you love? I mean, where most people will, in most cases, people will still question it. Some people, it's just, I don't care what the repercussions later are going to be. I'm doing this.
Yeah, Liam Neeson will happily spend
Frank Castle.
Yeah. Well, Frank Castle's a little bit different, because this is like after the fact. You know what I mean? It was like, that's something that was taken from him and he just snaps, right? This is what you're willing to do to save that person. Like Frank can't save his family. You know,
well, in a little bit of revenge, and especially in the first episode, because
well, I mean,
he's still going after the dick,
right? You know, which it's understandable too. If I had to walk around in a fucking refrigerator for the rest of my life, I might have a little bit of beef with that guy. Also, you know, he puts Nora in danger. I think the first thing they want to do is shut her down. Like that's a line you don't cross with him. And then you know, so he can you can go either way with this character, and it's important because you see in a bunch of different stories, that's why another reason that he's an interesting character is because, like, he doesn't always like fall in with the regular villains. Like he really doesn't want apart with them. If he's working with them, it's usually means to an end, or they have something that he needs in order. But Nora is his prime objective, and he will happily spend the rest of his life in a jail cell if he knows that he cured his wife, and he'd have no problem with it. It's like top tier, 67 my ass. I mean, this is like some god tier writing, and it shows. I mean, the episode came out in 1992, and we're still saying this is the version that we need. If we get it in live action again, I want to see it done correctly, without the campiness and without the bullshit. I don't want Ice and Cube. I don't want it. I don't want the henchman,
the hockey team from hell.
Yeah, I don't want the hockey stick. I mean, that's fine if you're going with the campy aesthetic, but it doesn't sound like that's what we're gonna get.
I'm Batman.
yeah, smiling George Clooney. Yeah, I think we got it. His abilities, genius level intellect, Sub-Zero, adaptation, thermokinesis, cryokinesis, decelerated aging is, that's something. That also is that's part and parcel with the character, right? Like, you would assume someone who's spending so much time in a Sub-Zero environment would probably age slower, just because like it is shown, like your cells and everything, they slow down. Like it's all there. He makes sense to be in the Suicide Squad. I don't really like him in things like the Legion of Doom or the Injustice League.
Because I mean, when it comes down to it, he's not evil. He just does bad things for a good cause.
He's incredibly damaged.
Personal.
He's not going to sit like Captain Cold works. I don't even think Bizarro works, but that was just, they were just putting in, the Riddler definitely works, so you can throw him in there. Lex Luthor, sure. But Mr. Freeze they would invite him, he would stand in front of everybody and be like, I don't have time for this, and he'd see himself out. Unless they had something where it was just like, hey, we're gonna rob this lab, it might actually have like something that you're looking for to cure Nora, then he's on board. But he's not sitting at that table going like like, he's not that type of villain.
Well, depending on which version we're talking about, if it's just then he would be at that table to freeze Gotham. But that's one of the dwarf styles. Now, if we're talking about the one that we all like in the retcon version, then yes, he is definitely not sitting at that table.
Okay, yeah, the Legion of Doom is very much pre-crisis, so that tracks.
Or even to keep it just consolidated to Batman the Animated Series. If you look at the episode Almost Got Him, when all the villains are sitting around playing poker, you're not going to see Mr. Freeze at that table like, and then I shot him with a cold ray, but he got away. Like, that's not happening.
I don't know if I would describe him as chaotic good.
That's pretty close. I think that's I gotta agree with Jake there.
I
maybe
would say
neutral.
I would say like noble evil. Like he has the right, he has the right intentions, but he goes about it the wrong way. Like I said, there's got to be an alternate universe where Mr. Freeze just, in his situation, appeals to Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne's like, you got full funding.
Whatever you need, I will get it for you.
It was like, just if you make any discoveries, those will be, Wayne Industries will use that. But like, here's what you need for your wife. You'll have like a private room at Wayne Tech. Like, I'm sorry that this happened. Ferris Boyle's an asshole. And then he wouldn't do any of this. And unless like she dies, and then he's like, you know what, freezing the whole city sounds like a good idea.
Nora finally passing away is what finally just snaps him.
Yeah, but I don't see him being chaotic good because at the end of the day, he doesn't do good things. He's got one goal and he's willing to do whatever he has to do. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right. He has the
Oh, man.
discipline to get the doctorate, hence lawful. He's willing to go outside of the norms of good and evil to get his way, but because he wants to hurt people, he just won't stop no matter what. Hence neutral. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. This is why this character is so awesome. Is you can go about it so many different ways. There's ways that you can just talk about him being like straight evil. It was like, just because something's wrong with your wife, that doesn't mean that you can just like walk into a building and just start murking people and freezing them. Because he does not care. If you are in his way, he will freeze you. And if there isn't like a superhero around, you will die. And he does not care. As far as Mr. Freeze is concerned, you can live forever. You could die tomorrow. He could give a shit. The only thing he cares about is Nora. Yeah, he can't he can't stab, won't stab. But all right, guys, I think we nailed it. This was a lot of fun. Let's see. Usually we have this combo backstage, but who do you think we should tackle next week? I'm thinking Catwoman.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we'll definitely have to do a Thomas Wayne shoot off, but I think we should get through the main. Yes,
yeah, at least
El Gato.
Yeah.
Which is Spanish for cat. Yes, we will be doing El Gato. We'll definitely have the Thomas Wayne spin-off. We'll get to stuff like that, but I think now that we started on the main Rogues Gallery, we should probably do it. This was a good introduction to it, and we're not getting into like pure evil yet. I wouldn't describe Mr. Freeze as pure evil. Catwoman is definitely someone who I wouldn't describe as pure evil. I mean, she's
even close.
Yeah, she's all over the place. So that one, you guys are gonna want to strap in, because that one could be a long one.
Might have to do a two-parter.
Yeah, I agree. As a matter of fact, we should do a two-parter where we can cover the villain Catwoman, and then we can cover the anti-hero Catwoman, because there is a stark difference between the two. And it's like, really just how she's written. So
two different characters, pretty much.
Mi perro, el perro, es mi corazón, el gato, no es bueno. Gracias. I don't know what you said, Jake Martin, but I felt it. All right, guys, we're wanting to tell us where you're going to be until the next Cave Cast, and we'll send everybody here on their merry way.
Iron, you can go first.
All right, cool. I'll be right after this in about half an hour. I'll be over on Theo Snodgrass's channel for Touch Grass. Then you can find me over on the weekly Rogues Gallery every Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST. Well, except for last night, because we're celebrating Vaughn Coleman's launch party for issue 3 of Phenomenova. So go check that out over on Kickstarter if you haven't already. Great read. So really looking forward to the third issue coming out here. Should be by the end of the year.
Yeah, Vaughn is an amazing talent. Please support him.
Absolutely. And let's see. Other than that, I pop up everywhere I'm asked when I have the availability to do so. So follow me over on X, and you'll know where I'm popping in and out of. And I'll be back here next week for Catwoman.
Nice.
Wow.
And Emerald.
Yeah. Drunken Emerald Arrow. I host the show on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. PST over on Rumble only, Nerds Covering the News, which we recently made the formal announcement that Tiny But Fierce is now the official co-host of Nerds Covering the News. Then on Wednesday at 7 p.m. over on Devil Made Me Do His channel, we have Make Me a Sandwich. Then on Fridays, I'm over rotating schedule on Rogues Gallery. And then Sean and Gina's show, that then leads into my night show at 9:30 PST over on my channel, which is insert title here. And then back here Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. PST for Cavecast. Also, I produce Touch Grass, Do Snodgrass coming up in a half hour.
Yes, and I am Sammy 3 yes, please like, subscribe, share the show. Maybe your grandma doesn't know about Mr. Freeze, and she really wants to. You don't know. There will be no in other news tomorrow. I have a concert that I'm going to, and I don't know if I'll make it back in time. If I make it back in time, I'll just send out a link. We'll grab some people. I don't see that happening though, but we'll pick up next week. I'm sure we'll have Sparkles on. We'll have what is it? Not Professor R2 wants to be on, so we'll get him probably, and the usual cast of characters. I'm sure Dax will be there. Drunken Emerald and Iron's always invited. Sometimes Leon pops in. Who knows? Other than that, Tuesday you can find me on Leon's channel. Then I'm doing something with Darnell and Moxie Dame, where we're doing one of those AI dungeons. Right now they're doing space truckers, so we're gonna see trucks in space with a side of three-peat. I often come on Make Me a Sandwich, and every now and then you can find me on the Rogues Gallery, and otherwise you can find me back in Roman of the Empire every Thursday. This Thursday is his birthday celebration, so if you guys could pop in and tell him Three-Peat sent you, that'd be great. And then call him a dirty old man, because he is, and he makes me watch stupid movies, and it hurts. But yeah, we'll be back next week for Catwoman. I love you guys, and looking forward to really getting into these villains here, because there is a lot to go through, and out of all the comic book characters, I would say Batman definitely has the richest Rogues Gallery. Maybe not the most dangerous, but definitely the most fulfilling and a variety. Spider-Man's up there. Superman has some heavy hitters, but no one hits. The Flash has some great ones too, but none of them are as iconic, even close to being as iconic as Batman. So thank you for going on this journey with us. We will see y'all next week.
Come on.
Yes, Batman, clad in the somber costume which has struck terror to the heart of many a swaggering denizen of the underworld.
Bob? Done.
Holy CinemaScope! Holy miscast Batman! Holy movie mogul! Holy cliffhangers Batman! Holy suborbit Batman is raining down there! Big history! Holy catastrophes Batman! Holy bullseye Batman! Holy stereo! Listen to this! Holy armadillos! Holy Krypton! Holy trampoline! Holy fork in the road! Holy Titanic Batman! Holy Houdini! Holy funny bone to jar! Holy chutzpah! Holy precision!
Tomorrow, same that time, same that channel.
The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.